Yeah. Sure.
So the next video is
Josh Fierstein.
It's actually not. I got it from his.
Okay.
It's that video I showed you before we went on the air. The Christian poet guy.
Right.
Yeah, I found it from Josh Fuckstain's
Well, I should
Facebook.
set this up. I don't know. You guys probably remember Jefferson Bethke, the poet, the Christian poet that I made a few responses to. One of my most popular videos, I Hate Religion and Jesus Too. So check that out if you haven't seen that already. But this guy is not Jefferson Bethke, but it's someone who is basically trying to be Jefferson Bethke. So if there's anything worse than a bad Christian slam poet, it's someone who's trying to jack the style of that bad Christian slam poet. Let's hear this bullshit.
It's kind of like Jefferson Bethke is the Transformers of Christian poets, and this guy's the GoBots.
Yeah, the GoBot. Yeah.
Very dramatic sounding music.
Got no snare in my headphones.
Sex and marriage and sex. They said first comes marriage and next comes sex. They told me don't have sex until you say I do. Staying pure is everything I thought I knew.
I don't know if I don't know if it was visible on their screens, but the title of this is 50 Shades of Grace. So, yeah.
I'm saving myself till marriage, said the 10-year-old me. But that was before puberty and MTV, before R-rated movies and computer screens. That was before late nights with pretty girls.
It was before MTV? I don't know, man. You don't look that old. I don't know. Anyway.
No, but I love how he's like, yeah, man, it's all MTV and the computer and the movies, and that's where it came from. I mean, like, the only thing he blames that's even slightly credible is puberty. I mean, everything else, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter if you raise kids, like, and this happens all the time, like, these kids, I just read an article the other day about this guy who was raised in this, like, fundamentalist Christian family that never talked about sex, and he ended up molesting his sister, basically, because he didn't even know what the fuck he was doing when he was, like, you know, 11 or 12 years old, and because, you know, he was totally sheltered and stuff. So it doesn't matter if you shelter kids from all these bad influences. All they really need is their biological predisposition towards having fucking sex with each other. And I mean, the human species was still fucking like rabbits before there was MTV, before there was late night movies, before there was the internet and all the porn options available. I mean, hell, I think porn actually keeps a lot of guys from getting laid. Just like, well, I don't want to fuck with some woman when I could just jerk off to what's on this screen. Yeah, this is just as fulfilling to me. So, I mean, it's not really, like, don't blame that shit. You know, it's not the computer's fault that you fucking strayed from your bullshit path. It's just your own human fucking nature, bitch. Bitch. Evolution, bitch. Yeah.
Temptations and promises of a broken world. That was before whispers in my ear and tugging at my shirt. Before I realized the pain, regret, and hurt. That's before I realized that sex is a tattoo. It only takes one night to leave its mark on you. That's before I realized that sex outside of marriage isn't pleasure. It's pressure with consequences that can't be measured.
Okay, so sex outside of marriage isn't pleasure. Anyone who's had sex outside of marriage would probably contradict that statement. I mean, granted, not all sex is fucking good, but usually when people have sex, they find it to be at least somewhat pleasurable. It's not just like, man, I really wish I wouldn't have let my friends pressure me into doing that before I was ready.
No. Yeah, when I first had sex, I was definitely, I wanted to do it, you know, I was pretty much ready.
Did you save yourself for marriage?
No.
Well, neither did our friend here, so.
Yeah.
Because suddenly you're not 100% you. You've given away a part of yourself and you've taken part of her too. And it doesn't stop there because the ripples keep going. Because you've damaged her future husband without him knowing. You fail to realize that she's something precious, worth being treasured. So you defile her body because of peer pressure. You're like, nah.
No. That's just a stupid way of looking at the world. And it's wrong. And it's regressive. And it doesn't even make sense. There's nothing about people fucking each other that's like, we're taking part of each other away, you know, like innocence lost or whatever. That's just nonsense. There's no, you've ruined her for her future husband when you do that. How? If anything, I fucking helped him out by giving her a little practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now she knows what the fuck she's doing, so she can please him better.
There are people in the chat room putting hashtag Ben is a virgin, and then there's people putting hashtag Ben is a slut. It should be hashtag Ben is a virgin slut.
Ben is a virgin slut. Actually, we should take a cue from our English friend and say, well, Ben is a virgin, but he's kind of a slut.
Nah, man, I'm just trying to get her number and have sex. But what happens a few months later when you get that text? I'm late is all that it says.
So now he's saying you shouldn't have sex because you might knock somebody up.
There's lots of ways to prevent that from happening.
Right. And, it is obviously a possibility, but I believe most people are aware of that.
No, I wasn't. Until this guy said that, I was like, what does he even talk about? What does he mean late? Late for what? I'm confused by this.
Palms turn sweaty, your face turns red. You're too young to be a father. You didn't want all this. A little bit of fun and now comes a kid? So you start looking for the rewind button. You wish you could go back. But if you did, you just end up with some other girl in the sack. Because sex is your god and you have to have it. And one girl's not enough because now you're an addict. Because when you see that girl at the store, what do you really see? A smile with a soul or a body that you have to meet?
Okay. Why can't it be both?
He also says sex is your god.
Sex is your god.
It goes back to that altar of orgasms thing that Wild Bill said in his one video. People pray to sex.
They pray to sex. I do that. Sex, please give me a good job and a new car.
That's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Praying to sex. That's all you fucking do is just pray to sex. You're God. I am a sex god, actually. So.
Stranger walks by and you turn your head. You're saying with your eyes that she's not worth your respect. She's just a body for your pleasure, a fantasy for your mind. And if she isn't giving it up, then she's not worth your time.
Hey, this crazy radical Christian guy and feminists actually have something in common there.
What's that?
Well, I mean, he's saying, like, you're just looking at her for her body. You don't respect her as a person. And it's the same fallacy that these feminists go out there toting and shit. It's like, if you're sexually interested in a woman's body, then you don't even view her as a human being.
Right.
Okay, that's...
Can't you do both?
Right. I mean, it's like if the cable guy comes to my house or something and he's gonna... I mean, I'm interested in him for his fucking cable skills, but maybe I would think I would still recognize the fact that he's a human being, you know? Or, something like that. It's just like, just because someone has some utility to you doesn't mean that you're automatically just reducing them to that. That's just silly. Now, there are people who think that way, but that's not just the automatic way it fucking is or some shit.
She isn't in her personality, it's in her physical features. And if the curves aren't right, then why even meet her? See, a man is concerned with her goals, dreams, and future plans.
I think he's saying a lot about himself and the way he thinks,
right.
Honestly.
I know what I mean. It's like, basically, he's just talking about the mentality that he was in, but it's like, okay, you don't need to be a Christian to escape from that mentality. You just need to not be a fucking asshole.
A boy only thinks about how quick he can get in her pants. What, too real? I should tone it down a bit? I'd rather be real than keep a tight lip. You're like, yeah, man, preach it. Tell them to respect us women. That's right. But you're probably the same girl who bought a ticket to see Magic Mike.
Oh.
So now he's going to say, if you watch a movie about male strippers, you're just as bad.
Yeah, you the same girl bought a ticket to Magic Mike. It's like, oh, got them on their hypocrisy, bro. Yeah, you women have sex drives too. What about that, bitch, huh? Yeah, Jesus.
Money to see men degrade themselves by stripping. And you're the same girl who tells your boyfriend if he doesn't respect your body, he's tripping. See, the street goes both ways. It's not just the guys. In order to have respect, you gotta have respect in your own eyes. Complaining about guys not treating you like a lady while walking around with clothes so tight they belong on a baby. So you gotta respect yourself.
Oh my.
He was really reaching for a rhyme there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, gotta be something rhymes here. Lady, rabies, baby, crazy, Davy. baby.
There you go. You got it.
Clothes so tight. They belong on a baby. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is some sick-ass shit. I think this guy and John Cena should form a rap group together.
G-Man has to be in there, too.
And G-Man.
Because, this guy and G-Man, they're both, like, Christian rappers, I guess. I don't even know if you can call this rap, because he's not, there's no rhythm to it. It's just poetry.
It's like slam poetry.
Yeah,
or
basically.
whatever the fuck you call it. Bleh.
He never will. He'll just use you for your body until he gets his fill. Then it's on to the next with the booty and chest, because it was never about love. It was only about sex. And you wake up and take a look at your history. You're overcome with regret. You feel filth and misery. So you jump in the shower and you scrub, but no amount of soap can make you feel clean enough, because you took the lie and you gave yourself away. You bought into a society that promotes 50 Shades of Grey, but your sin
Gave into a society that promotes.
Right.
Like society. All of society. I love when these fucking people say this shit, like society does this. It's like, unless there's like a law on the books or something, or there's just like a rampant problem. But like anytime something's the least bit popular, like society just approves of this. It's like, no, society isn't doing that. That's an author wrote a book that got popular and a lot of people read it. And now it's being made into a movie that probably a lot of people will see, but that doesn't mean that, like, society itself has given this the rubber stamp of approval. Like, yes, this is a good thing, and this is what we like. Damn it.
can be gone, they can be washed away, because Christ has been there all along with 50 shades of grace. You see, Jesus doesn't love you because of what you've done. He loves you for who you are, not what you become. He loves you because he is love, and love is all that he knows. He loves you despite your sin, your highs and your lows. So it doesn't matter what you've done, it doesn't matter where you've been. The good news is there's forgiveness in him. The past is the past.
So does that mean you can fuck all you want, but if you pray to Jesus, it's okay? Is that your point?
What he's saying, yeah. He's like, go ahead and be this way, but at the end of the day, be like, Jesus, I'm sorry. I know what a shitheel I am. And then you go to heaven, just like Hitler.
Past that we can never get it back. But life is a marathon, not a 1-mile track. So you don't have to make a lap back to where you began. You can run to Jesus and take his hand. You can start a new race, a brand new life. One that doesn't start with sex.
Start a new race. I guess he is Hitler, yeah.
Well, he means the metaphorical.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just, yeah.
He is Hitler. He's got a mustache.
I'm convinced.
One that starts with Christ.
All right. Put on your hood and walk away.
Right,
buddy.
yeah, that's what he's going to do, but we're not going to watch it.